Hello and welcome, everyone. For today's mission, I'll be after some deer in the dark with a bow. Conni is upping the bow hunting ante for me from the last mission. This time I'll have to travel to Spreeberg Castle and harvest a deer down within 30 meters with a bow. Spreeberg Castle is on the edge of a lake right in the middle of the map. The area itself sits on a cliff surrounded by woods and meadows. The first thing to remember is that the hunt will have to take place between the hours of 19 and 5. Roes, reds, and fallow are all present around the castle, and male or female, big or small, will do. I haven't spent much time there at night though, so I'll have to search the area for animals and need zones to see what I can find. The other consideration is the 30 meters or less, so I'll have to be super stealthy by finding a bush for cover, then calling the animal into range. The Like a Pro perk for archery would also be a handy thing to have here, but I haven't unlocked it yet. If I get stuck, another strategy might be to use some DLC options, like the electronic collar or a bait feeder. But for now, I'll try to do the mission the old-fashioned way. Any bow or crossbow will do the trick. I'll be using the Razorback compound bow myself with a single pin sight. 420 grain arrows or bolts would be my ammo of choice, as it covers all classes of deer on the map. A rangefinder will certainly be handy, and I plan to use the DLC Gen 0 night vision binos to make my life a little easier in the dark. With very little intel to work with, I began scouting the area around 4 a.m. After spawning in at the Spreeberg outpost, I made my way north up the road. My plan was to systematically scout the area throughout the night for feed zones and animals. If an opportunity came my way, I wasn't going to turn it down though. Since the area has a fair amount of forest, I could simply hide in a bush, haul out a collar, and lure them in. Mainly I bumped into female roes. They would have done just fine for the mission, but the pursuit of YouTube glory made me hold out for a roebuck or something bigger. Missions restricted to areas like this can be limiting though, so if all else fails, at least I can always come back for one of them. But the most enticing prospect I found before I even got to the highlighted area. I held my shot for now, hoping I might find him again inside the zone. I watched him for a minute before moving on. And I ran into him again after dawn too, so it was a good bet that I'd cross paths with him again. But now it was daylight, and I needed to reset the time to sundown and scout again. So I set up a tent a safe distance away, reset the time, and hiked my way back. While stealing a quick look at my map, I heard a roe deer call from the direction of the castle. A roebuck, finally. Next, I carefully made my way to the top of the hill, just on the edge of the highlighted area. But then I caught another call. Hoping it might be the level 7 stag from before, I redirected my attention and searched in the dark with my binos. And then he appeared. I quickly began searching for a tree with some cover to hide in. Just before I got to the cover, though, I spotted the roebuck I was searching for earlier. But I remained focused on the red deer. Once I finally got settled, I began to call. But after a few tries, I picked up a mating call that indicated he was over 200 meters away and out of earshot of the caller. Determined, I snuck through the dark in his direction, looking for another spot to call him from. And that call was even farther than the last. Disappointed, I reluctantly crept back to my original spot, resolving to claim the roebuck instead. Thankfully, I found him where I left him, so I took up my old perch and began to call him in. And he was instantly on the prowl. Once he made it to 30 meters away, I pulled out the bow, aiming slightly low in such a close distance. I had a few obstacles in the way though, so I held my shot, waiting for a clear line of sight. Just then, I heard a red deer call to my right. I already had a roebuck, but the bow's a silent killer and he wasn't going anywhere. So I went to investigate, hoping to get a quick second shot at another deer. The female roe wasn't very tempting, but the deer behind her was. And again, I waited for a clear shot. And he's down. And here he is at last. He's a brown-colored gold, scoring 189.8. I'm not sure if I was chasing him or another red deer earlier, but either way my patience paid off. I got him within the highlighted area at 25 meters with a compound bow, so he completed the mission. Well, I guess the roebuck is a bonus. I headed over to claim him as well. My roebuck is also a brown-colored gold, scoring 71.97. He would have done just fine for the mission as well, as I got him with a bow at 18 meters through both lungs. No worries though, a few extra points is alright with me. Well, I got the stag that I wanted and came home with a nice bonus too. Night missions are tough, area restrictions are tougher, and hunting with a bow is also tough, so the odds are stacked against me here. The bait feeder would have easily done the trick, but I love stalking through the woods with a bow, so this turned out to be a lot of fun for me. If you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. The bow hunting challenge continues for the next mission. This time, though, it'll need to pack a little more punch. Thanks for watching.